Good evening, and welcome back to the channel.
Let's be Garden B part.
Beep beep.
B part.
Super crazy awesome channel of science.
Super geek.
Yeah, that too. So, dear.
Yes.
Would you like me to make a initial statement and you just take it from there?
However you'd like to do it, my
You
dear.
just want to take over from now.
Oh, you can take an initial statement and I'll take over if you have one.
What the fuck?
That's a good initial statement.
What, like, ha, ha, ha. That's my initial statement. What?
Was that your opening argument?
That's my fucking opening statement, my closing argument, and fucking obituary all in one.
That's your opening statement, your testimony, your obituary.
Oh, okay. The Republicans, they're not like the Republicans that I grew up thinking Republicans were Republicans. Like, you know, back when I was running through a fucking field carrying a little shitty 1980s lawn chair. Who are we going to see? A man named Ronald Reagan. Who the fuck is that? You know, like. The Republicans are Republicans. Well, why do Republicans hate America?
Right.
I mean, seriously. Democrats still, like, David Pacman doesn't even seem to understand why he needs to raise the argument that Russia's behind terrorism and that makes Republicans weak on terrorism. And actually complicit with, palling around with, and then some, financially involved with international criminal fucking terrorism.
Yes, but
Republicans.
But that's not what this video is focused on. Although true.
Democrats need to figure out that being smarter and being right isn't good enough. You have to have a theme. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
And that theme right now, can be a series of talking points that intertwine into every little thing, into every little story, into every little fact that we're right about. Okay. And thus help people who aren't watching these daily exposés catch on to what the meaning of them is. Okay. And we had a good thing going with what fucking treason being a talking point. Okay. Because it became a talking point because that's, you know, what they've done. I'm getting there.
I know.
Jeez. Acting like you've never watched one of my videos.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're making me lose my train of thought.
Choo choo. You love me.
Alright. So what Democrats need to do is stick to some things. Like, well, then it turns out Republicans are the ones who've been weak on national security this whole time. Oh, why is Donald Trump palling around with terrorists? So yeah, that, like, you can find different powerful things to say over and over again the same way they do, the same way they have done for fucking decades. But you haven't. And now they're going to do something that is going to be undoable. I can't even bring myself to say it without wanting to punch myself in the face just for saying it. They're going to destroy America. Why do they hate America? Why do Republicans hate America? Why do they want to destroy the American education system that made this country great? Our education system isn't the problem. Lack of funding for our education system. That's a problem.
Huge problem. It's the first thing that gets cut is education.
What's their brilliant fucking idea, dear? I know you can't wait to get started. I'm done.
So, there is a bill. For those of you who watched part 1, I already said which one it was. It was H.R. 610. It was introduced in the House at the beginning of January. And, it's called the Choices in Education Act of 2017. Let me tell you about your choices in education right quick. So this bill is going to repeal the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 and limit the authority of the Department of Education such that the Department of Education is authorized only to award block grants to qualified states. So essentially, they're cutting funding and you have to qualify for a grant. Your state has to qualify for a grant to get education funding. The bill establishes an education...
Which means red tape.
Oh, lots of red tape. The bill establishes an education voucher program through which each state shall distribute block grant funds among local educational agencies based on the number of eligible children within each local educational agency's geographical area. From these amounts, each area shall 1. Distribute a portion of the funds to parents who elect to enroll their child in a private school or to homeschool their child, and 2. Do so in a manner that ensures such payments will be used for appropriate educational expenses. To be eligible to receive a block grant, a state must 1. Comply with the education voucher program requirements, and 2. Make it lawful for parents of an eligible child to elect to enroll their child in any public or private elementary or secondary school in the state or to homeschool their child. This is the first part of the bill. We're going to talk about this and then move on to the second part of the bill. So you're defunding what little funding the government is giving public education as it is. Okay?
And then putting all the burden of accountability on the states, or else you don't get the funding.
Exactly.
So if your state's broke and can't afford to do the accountability part, you're going to be even more broke.
So the interesting thing about this section, it's only 2 sections, this bill. The interesting thing about this section is how they go into so much detail about the grant, right? Mm-hmm. But what they don't go into, and I'm going to go...
is the accountability.
Well, what actually repealing the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 really does. So I'm going to pull up my friend, and I'm going to give credit to my friend Joy for posting this. So what... It's the ESSA.
I could tell you.
It's what it is a comprehensive program that covers programs for struggling learners, AP classes, which is advanced placement classes.
Gifted and talented, anything, Okay, well, let me just say something about that. And why this is a reason why Republicans seem to hate America. The people who literally make this country great, who invent things like stealth technology and fucking, smartphone apps and shit like that, No, smartphone apps is just kind of stretching for a thing. But you know what I mean. The smart people in the country, those guys who make the straight A's and get the good jobs and invent things and start companies. Fuck all those people. Just that's what that means. That means unless you're a private school brat, unless you're one of the elites, you're it's not America anymore for you.
Oh, also, quick point before I go back to the list. This law, it's the nation's educational law, and it provides equal opportunity education. Okay, so this is going to cut the comprehensive program that covers programs for struggling learners, advanced placement classes, English as a second language classes, classes for minorities such as Native Americans, rural education, which means, so much for learning, like out here, the agricultural centers and all that. They're going to lose people to work, and stuff like that. Education for the homeless kids. So homeless kids that were at least being able to have an education aren't going to be able to have one now. And it's going to get rid of the monitoring and compliance and federal accountability programs.
Yeah, like I said, throw money at the problem and say the burden of accountability and organization and making sure that there's no corruption is all on the states. So your buddies in the states where you're from or where your businesses are, all that good shit, they're contractors like Betsy DeVos's contractors with the whole, what do they call them? Charter schools. And I actually went to a charter school. They have a purpose. That purpose is not best suited by charter schools, but that's what we got.
See, that really burns my ass because, like, we took AP classes in high school.
Yeah.
AP is
I would
advanced.
think a lot of our subscribers are the AP class types.
For those of you who are with us who do not know what what advanced placement classes is, it gives you the opportunity to take a college level class and take an exam at the end of the year that will give you a college credit for that class. So you don't have to take that class in college.
Yeah, not to mention before you get to those years in high school, you have college prep classes as early as middle school, where they're training you ahead of time to be able to take college level notes and absorb college levels of information.
Elementary school, they offered it to Trina. She's in 6th grade.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, 6th grade's elementary school.
They won't now.
No. Guess I should have fucking taken advantage of that.
Thanks, Obama. Wait. Shit.
So,
wait, who is the one pro-Obama conspiracy channel on all the fucking internet?
Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
So the other thing about this bill that really burns my ass is this whole making it lawful for parents to enroll their child in any public or private elementary, blah, blah, blah. That thing kind of burns my ass, okay? Because we, just as an example, I know we're one of many, many parents that have sacrificed and are living in a place that they can barely afford to be able to put their kids in a decent school, okay? We got lucky with where we are. Our kids go to the #1 school district in the state of Louisiana, which quite honestly doesn't really say too much because Louisiana education is kind of in the crapper as it is. But
still in the top 200 in the nation.
Right. And we, can't leave the state to go to a better educational state. So we at least have them in the best school in the state. Now, and nothing against everybody wanting a good education for their children. Every child should have a good education. But what I'm worried about now is, and with this, I mean, Zachary's going to lose their funding anyway. We've gotten so much funding and so many grants from the government because we are a Title V school. We have the highest marks. Our kids get the highest scores on standardized testing in the state. They prepare kids for college a lot better here than they do anywhere else in the state. And you're going to have people parents who want their kids, and I'm not trying to stereotype, but you're going to have parents who want their kids to have a better education with kids who really don't give a shit coming into the good schools and bringing down all the scores. So, Zachary, I hate to say it, but I really don't think Zachary's even going to be in the top 10 for much longer because with it being the number one school in the state, it's going to be the first target for every parent to try to send their kid to. And I don't know, call me selfish for that if you want, but I mean, I struggle to be able to live in the district for my kids to go to the school. If I want a cheap, I mean, I don't know, it blows my fucking mind. Um, Moving on to the second part of this bill that's really fucked up. Um, the No Hungry Kids Act that Michelle Obama pretty much helped pass in 2012. Sorry, y'all, there's something in my eye. My contact's irritating me.
Worked her ass off for her husband's whole first term to pass.
Right.
Through a Republican House and Senate.
So
She passed it.
This act specifies rules that establish certain nutritional standards for the national school lunch and breakfast programs. And generally speaking, it requires schools to increase the availability of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat or fat-free milk in schools. Which I don't understand what the fucking problem with that is. We need our kids to be eating healthier. We are too obese as a nation. Like, we need to start with our children and teach them good eating habits. This bill is going to completely do away with that. Just completely.
And what it boils down to is, again, with the healthcare thing, why do Republicans hate Americans? Okay, you want us to be unhealthy so that our healthcare costs will continue to rise, so that the insurance companies that pay you off will continue to have nice fat bribes for your asses, huh?
And see what these
Democrats need to grow balls.
What our government officials are failing to realize is that for some kids, I mean, we live in a country where the cost of living is steady going up and nobody's wages are moving. Wages are stagnant, especially down here in the South. It is, even, they've done statistically proven that even with a working two-parent household, it's still not enough money for what it costs to live down here. For some of these kids, these school breakfast and lunch programs that they have are the only food that they get. And you're about to take it all away from them. Congratulations.
You can't be focusing on things like keeping energies from gouging people, keeping energy companies from gouging people on their power bills, or protecting consumers from, say, giant corporations who want to manipulate the public for their own fucking ends. No. Don't want to focus on none of that stuff. You want to basically destroy America so that the people who pay you get richer so they can pay you more. That's what fucking Republicans do in the House and Senate. And that's what fucking accident my ass. They're Satanists. Go ahead and tell them about that. Sorry, she just found something. And
Sorry. I was looking to see if there was any other juicy news, and the first thing I clicked was Sean Spicer accidentally wore his American flag pin upside down at the start of the press briefing today, and Omarosa had to pass him a note to tell him for him to flip it back the right way. What's Sessions do?
no, like, okay, you're putting on a fucking flag pin, right? How do you put it upside down? It's he's just doing that. He's just flicking us all off. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about us. Democrats, don't cave to the far left. Stay in the center. Stand for America. United we stand. We're what together? We're what were we together? Was it stronger? Yeah, that was a good slogan. It actually meant something. Stronger together.
Oh, look at the strides the Catholic Church is making. They're catching up to the Orthodox faith. How you like that?
Really?
Yeah. No, I think it's a good thing. I really, really do. Okay, so my whole thing with the Catholics and the whole child molestation crap that goes on, a big part of that is the having to be celibate. And that really, it's a natural human urge. And to try to deny somebody that is just like, it's messed up. Yeah, you're taking a vow to God and it should be taken seriously, but after all, when you get right down to it, we're only humans. Now,
God
I'm not making excuses. The vagina. Yeah, I know, right? So apparently, Pope Francis said that he is open to. What just happened?
Nothing.
Did I bite you? So in the Orthodox Christian faith, which is what I actually grew up in, our priests were allowed to be married as long as they were married before they entered seminary school. So most priests in the faith are married because they have the option to not become a priest until they get married, and so they don't have to worry about the celibacy and not having kids and doing all the natural things that a human being is supposed to do. So Pope Francis has said that he is open-minded to married men becoming priests in the Roman Catholic Church to combat the enormous problem of a shortage of clergy.
We could have made that another video.
I know. Sorry. I'm just... Oh.
I'm going to start trying to do a thing. Okay, so let me announce this to you while I'm announcing this to, the imaginary people in the little tiny box.
Hi, imaginary people in the tiny little box.
I keep forgetting. We're the imaginary people in the little tiny box.
Oh, yeah, that is us right there, huh?
Hi, people who are imagining us.
Hi.
Okay. I want to start doing, when we do videos like this, to do one topic at a time, so we can actually post a headline related to what the hell we're talking about, and not wind up struggling to squeeze in a bunch of headlights in the one title.
Okay. Works for me.
Sound good to y'all, imaginary people on the other side of the box?
Well, that's all I have to say about that.
How has this day been so fucking long? It's not even that late. My God, I'm tired.
This week has been ridiculous. And we had a lot of drama today, so... Well... You had a lot of drama, I had the same drama, and then I had other drama added on top of it. That's not quite over. The first drama is taken care of, the second drama has not quite been touched yet.
So, anyway, I might film some fun little videos either tonight or tomorrow. Maybe tonight. By topic. Some things I want to discuss. One regarding cars, two regarding the usual. So are we done with the
Yeah, I just want to make
disastrous fuckery of the education system?
I just wanted to let people be aware of what the fuck is going on. These are the bills that are being passed that are actually really going to affect everybody. Like, our poor kids. They're going to take away Common Core. Which really sucks. I don't mind that, but it's like, we didn't learn Common Core. Then you want to teach our kids Common Core. And then when the parents finally start to understand Common Core, then you're going to take it away again?
You know, anybody who first catches one of my videos, or if this is the first video that you're watching, before you think you understand where I'm coming from, where we're coming from, what we want is the America that we first came to know. We want the America that was finally becoming united. We want the America in the We Are the World music video.
I got a message on Twitter today about that. Remember how I posted that the other day after we watched it on Twitter? Do you know in other countries they can't view it? I had somebody from Europe send me a message on Twitter saying that they couldn't watch it. It wasn't available in Europe. We are the world.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me.